What's up, sports fans? This your boy Smitty coming from on the porch. Y'all know how it gets down. But I'm going to give y'all them week one predictions, man. And it's going to be one hell of a season, folks. Wide open. AFC going to be wide open. NFC going to be wide open. So, very interested to see who's going to make the Super Bowl 53 right here in Atlanta. And I can't wait to see some of y'all down here. First game I'm going to start out with, Falcons-Eagles. Playoff rematch from last year. Two things that I'm going to watch in this game is the Falcons pass rush against that very good Eagles defensive line. Can the Falcons get pressure on Nick Foles? I think they can, and I think they will. But ultimately, it also comes down to, can the Falcons stop the run? They had trouble last year stopping the run. But top 10 defense the last half of the season, and I think they can pull it off. Now on the other hand, Falcons wide receiver against the Eagles secondary. Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, and Calvin Ridley, who by the way is my fantasy sleeper for this game. Can they get open plays against a very versatile Eagles secondary? I know Julio Jones didn't play the preseason, but he's going to get his anyway. And the difference in this game, like I said, will be the Falcons pass rush against the Eagles offensive line. I think the Falcons can get a pass rush going against Philadelphia, which is why I'm going to pick them to win this game. My next game, Texans at the Patriots. For y'all that don't know, last year Patriots started off rough with a home loss to Kansas City Chiefs. Kareem Hunt ran wild. Alex Smith had a career game. The way I look at New England, they built to win. They have a scheme, they stick to it, which has made them successful, since Brady and Belichick came years ago. So New England gonna get theirs. Yes, they struggle on defense, but offensively, no matter if they have receivers or not, they still gonna get theirs. Houston, on the other hand, Deshaun Watson missed the last half of the season last year with a torn ACL. He comes back. They have DeAndre Hopkins, who's arguably one of the top 5 receivers in the league. So that'll be interesting. J.J. Watt returns. Winston Merciless returns for Houston, which solidifies their defense. So Houston is one of the more complete teams in the league, who I would love to see make a run at that Super Bowl. But this game comes down to who can make the most stops, on defense. Because offensively, both of these teams are stacked. And I'm going to go with Houston, since their defense is a little bit more solid. Yes, New England is at home, but I'm going to take the Houston Texans in this one. 49ers and Vikings, this should be an interesting one. Two of the highest paid quarterbacks this past offseason, Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo. We're going to see how they're going to shake and bake, with their new team. Jimmy Garoppolo actually played, was traded last year at the deadline and played pretty well, the last half of the season. And the 49ers made an awesome run at the end of the season. Jared McKinnon was hurt. He tore his ACL, training camp. At the end of training camp. So they're going to have to roll with Alfred Morris, who is a veteran who can get you yards. Is he still the number 1 back? That is yet to be seen, but I think he can get the job done as long as he has, help back there, with a two-headed monster. Minnesota, how they roll. Defense is the name of their game with head coach Zimmer. So it'll basically be the 49ers offense against the Minnesota defense. And yes, Minnesota, they filtered out towards the end last year, but I think they have a whole new focus, and I'm going to take Minnesota at home in this game. Cowboys and Panthers. Carolina, retooled as they always do. Cam Newton, who's that running back? Christian McCaffrey, a two-headed monster. So um, Carolina will have to run the ball, in order to be successful this season because it's the only way that they open up, Cam Newton in the offense. Yes, he got more weapons with DJ Moore. Um, he still has Devin Funchess last year who had a breakout year. And, Carolina going to be tough at home. Cowboys, on the other hand, y'all know the name of the game with the Dallas Cowboys. Control the clock, run the ball. The only way to be successful. And that's what they had problems with last year with Ezekiel Elliott in and out the lineup, due to suspension. And, their weakness showed, with the passing game. Now, they brought in Allen Hurns. Is it Allen Hurns? Yes. They brought in Allen Hurns from Jacksonville. Lost Dez Bryant, who was probably, one of their best targets. They lost Jason Witten due to retirement. That was tough. And Ezekiel Elliott going to be the key to this team the whole season. Don't be surprised if he gets 300 to 400 carries. But they still have that dominant offensive line. Dak Prescott will also be key. Can he hold it together? Moving the ball. We will see. But this game going to be in Carolina, which is going to be tough for Dallas, who I said, going to have problems, passing against that tough Carolina defense. So, Zeke might get his, but I'm going to go with the Panthers in this one at home. One of the biggest rivals in the NFL, Bears and Packers. This is going to be, crazy. The Bears just acquired Khalil Mack, and he'll be going against, that tough Aaron Rodgers-led offense in Green Bay, who added Jimmy Graham. They get their running backs back. Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb. This is going to be one of the best. Khalil Mack ends up in Chicago to go along with Dan Trevathan, Leonard Floyd, outside rusher. Who else? Roquan Smith, the rookie linebacker. So this is a young version of the Monsters of the Midway defense with Kendall Fuller in the secondary. And, man, I cannot wait. Aaron Rodgers got a new deal. So we're going to see how that's going to pay off, in this first game. This is going to be, a field game because they'll play again, later this season. So this game could be key in the NFC North race, which I think Chicago has a chance to win. Chicago, Mitchell Trubisky, second-year quarterback, Jay Howard, the running back, they will be key in the passing game. The Bears added some weapons also, don't get me wrong. So they might be able to move the ball as well. But against that Green Bay defense, I can see, Mitchell Trubisky passing, 250 or better. I think I'm going to go with upset with this one. Only because I like the Bears offense, and I think they can score, enough to beat the Packers. Because I think their defense, can get it done. So, I'll go with the Bears in this one, in an upset special. And those are my 5 games of week 1. Now, y'all read and weep these scores and fantasy sleepers from the other games. Peace.